Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
Okay, if Patreon's your thing, check out the link in the description below. Loads and loads of stuff on there, and it's all just for a bargain price of just
£1.50 a month.
bargain. That.
Yep, value for money.
Cheapest chips, as you would say.
Yeah, great
So
stuff.
check out the link. Loads of stuff on there. How to piss off the English.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It takes a lot to piss me off.
Yeah, well, I think we've got a good sense of humour, haven't we? So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. If you're foreign to the UK, and you said something, nothing you could say about the UK or the British would offend me.
no,
Nothing.
nothing like that. I think someone queue jumping maybe would do.
Queue jumping's one. I say something.
Or
I'll say,
special-
"Oi," to the
Yeah,
back.
or if you're at the bar and you
That's
know
queue
you're
jumping,
next and
yeah.
someone jumps in front of you, that really annoys you, especially if it's obvious that you've been there before.
It was in the pub last night, and it was packed because football's on at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it was solid packed. It was like 5 or 6 deep at the bar, so I stood at the back.
Yeah.
And Ian goes, "That's what you want." I went, "Nice guy's first. This guy's in front of me." The guy's like, "Oh, cheers, mate." So, and then he's like, and I was waiting for him to go, "Can I have a coffee?" I was just going to go, no, to the back.
Hold on, you're next on the proviso that you have a pint.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, you only got 2 beers, so it was
I'm sure
easy.
by the time you probably poured yours at the same time. Anyway, no doubt.
He did.
Yeah, I thought you
Yeah,
might.
yeah. I actually moved away from the bar before he got his change
Yeah.
back. I was done. So I ran a tab.
Yeah.
So I'm not waiting for change or anything. Yeah. Anyway,
That's
how
right
to
to do
piss
it.
off the English? Bit Mark from Walter's World, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd like
Yeah,
it. It's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's saying.
Yeah.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in Chester, England, and today we're going to talk about are some of the kind of faux pas or traveler faux pas that travelers do when they travel to England that might upset the locals, okay? Because we don't want to upset the locals when we're here, because the English are super awesome to tourists when they come here. So be awesome to them, all right? And the first thing that tourists sometimes upset the locals with, and it might be different in your country than here, that's queue jumping. You know, jumping the line, skipping the line. Look,
There
in
you go.
England, queue culture is a thing. You follow the line. You get behind the person behind you and you wait your turn. Whether you're getting on the tube, the train, at a store, the shop, the post office, wherever, it's always a nice queue waiting in line and no one complains about it. If you try to do the bum rush thing to get on the trains or get into shops and stuff like that, don't be surprised if someone says, "Excuse me, sir," because that's not something that happens here, okay? So make sure you're staying
Excuse
in
me, sir,
line.
that
And
ain't
there's
gonna
certain
work.
I'm not
people,
sure
certain
about that.
tourists,
Wait.
we know who you are, okay? Make sure you're not queue jumping. Another thing to guarantee to upset a local, and this isn't really a tourist thing that tourists do, but something that's guaranteed to upset the locals, it's just 2 words: engineering work. Or maybe you might hear this: replacement bus service or industrial action. Look, anything that makes public transportation not work right, that will annoy the English, because it might be that, hey, we are working on the train lines, or this service is not happening right now, and that's one of those things that you can literally see the kind of disappointment come over their faces when you hear the words engineering work, and you're like, oh, replacement bus service. You can literally see their souls leaving their bodies. And the thing is, when you come here to England, you'll notice that people are very polite. I mean, not everybody, but in general, people in England are very polite. They're very mannerly. And if you're not mannerly and polite when you're here, that does upset the locals. They do expect a thank you, a please, and they're going to say excuse me, they bump into you, and they expect the same thing there. That's why pushy tourists and tourist groups that just kind of shove through things, those are things that people in England don't really like very much. It's like,
If someone says something, even if they're not talking to me, if I'm in a shop, and someone says, "Can I have some potato chips?" and they don't say, I always go, "Please."
Have the please on the end of it.
Yeah. I've got. It's just natural. It comes natural.
Yeah.
it kind of irks them. So make sure you are minding your P's and Q's and you're being polite when you are going around. And I know that's something that people say, well, you should do that anywhere. Well, yeah, it's true. But in some places, a shove here, a push there isn't really a big deal. Here, it's not really cool, okay? So, be polite when you are here. Now, another thing for my American friends that will always get your English friends to kind of roll their eyes at you is if you call football soccer. Look,
Nah.
they call it football because you kick it with your foot. They'll have plenty of ways to disparage American football when you call football soccer here. So just call it footy, call it football, or just stay that way. Talk about the Cowboys and you go back to the U.S. It's fine, okay? I know the Jaguars play here in England occasionally, but come on. Football is football. Soccer is silly to them. Now, another thing that might irk your English friends is if you kind of think that everybody's from London or everything is by London, which you have to realize is England is a whole country. It's not just one city of London. And that's why if you're coming to a place like Chester or you're going to York or whatever, or you meet somebody from here and they go, oh, I'm from York, I'm from Chester. Like, oh, is that near London? No, dude, London's in the south of England. We're in the north of England. There's even the Midlands in between us. Okay, so that's one of those things that people do kind of get upset. They're like, look, there's more to this beautiful country than just London. And that's why it kind of irks them, because you'll see that people are very proud of their local village, of their local shire, their local area, you know, so you do have that. But it doesn't matter where you are in England, where, you know, north, south, Midlands, wherever. Another thing that's going to really upset them is you make them a bad cup of tea, okay? Because getting a cup of tea.
It's true, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've noticed now when you go in restaurants now, if you ask for a cup of tea,
Yeah.
they don't give you a cup of tea.
Oh, really?
They give you the ingredients to make your own. They give you a pot of hot water,
Yeah.
and milk on the side,
Yeah.
and sachets of sugar,
Yeah.
and an empty cup. No one makes you a cup of tea anymore.
Right. So you have to make it yourself.
Yeah. Because I guess it's quite a...
There's a certain consistency and
Yeah.
colour. I think it's more colour, isn't it, that
Yeah.
you go for. Some
Yeah.
like it really weak. I don't. I like it fairly
No,
strong.
me neither. Strong.
I
I
don't,
don't
like
have any
it.
milk in mine
I don't
anyway.
like it sort of like weak and insipid.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Just a drop of milk, not too much milk.
I don't have any in mine. No milk.
Oh, do you not?
No.
Yeah, I don't have a bit in mine, but again, I don't like it milky.
Yeah.
So just like a little drop, just to give it a nice
But it's
colour.
definitely it's definitely a thing about, and he's right about like from London or near London. Is it near London?
Yeah.
Because London's just a dump.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's better cities, I think, anyway.
Yeah,
in
Manchester.
general. Manchester's
Yeah,
great.
simple.
Great city.
Tea here is really, really an important thing, and make sure you're making it right. So if you look online, you'll see like English people like pulling the hair out that they still have left in their head when they see people microwaving water for their tea.
What?
Look, get
Wow.
that kettle, and you'll see your hotel, your inn, your bed and breakfast. They'll probably have a kettle in your room that you can use in order to make tea in your own room. All right, so making a bad cup of tea, straight off way to get them to go, oh, dude, what's wrong with you? Another thing.
Is it a big thing in the States, tea? I always thought it was just like 95% coffee.
Yeah, it's
For a, like a hot drink.
Yeah, but I remember that I think we found it difficult to find an electric kettle when we lived there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Is it all
People
coffee?
might tell me wrong, but I kind of remembered not having a kettle.
So it's all coffee percolator sort of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, it was like
right,
coffee
okay.
machines. It's filtered coffee, like
That's right, yeah.
where you put the filter in, it drips down.
Well, you do see it in all the, thinking about all the TV films, TV programs, they all seem to be like say
Yeah.
a percolator or
Yeah.
that where it drips down sort of
Yeah.
thing for the coffee. But
But I don't recall. I think we eventually got a kettle, but I don't recall them like being like openly on sale. Don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you just go down to your local shop and get a kettle like you can here.
Right, okay.
I can get a kettle from any shop here.
Yeah. Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
They're absolutely everywhere,
Yeah.
aren't they? But just the types of tea as well. They're just all imported. They have like tea from other countries rather than
China?
like American tea. Well, yeah.
Well, you have Lipton's, don't you? That's American, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, don't is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
I assume it is because they do iced tea.
Right.
It's Lipton's iced
right,
tea.
okay.
Now,
I'm guessing iced tea is probably maybe more popular
Yeah,
than
iced tea is
the
very
cold
popular.
tea.
Yeah,
Of course it is.
Yeah. Well,
The thing that'll probably annoy your English friends is if you go out and you order beers and you make fun of their ales because they love their ales, and you start ordering things like Coors, which is an American beer. When in a great city like Chester, come on, get the local brews when you're here. Your English friends aren't gonna like it if you're not drinking local with them.
I have only foreign beers. Drinking that shite.
Another not cool thing.
I was going to say real ales and stuff isn't my thing anyway. I prefer like a pint of Coors and other than a pint of Black Bob.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. But it's I drink like European beers. Me,
Yeah, same here.
German or
German beers are always
or
good,
Belgian.
aren't they?
Yeah, I drink Stella wherever it's
Italian ones
possible.
like your Maratis and things like
Yeah.
that, and there's all sorts of stuff in there.
Yeah,
so.
but nowadays it's hard to get. I mean, a lot of pubs do IPAs now. They sort of like
They do, it's a big thing.
Become a trend, hasn't it?
yeah.
But the pub I go in has pretty much fucking every beer you want on tap.
Yeah.
But there's a constant flow. I'd say there's a constant flow of in that pub. Always pouring. Someone's always pouring a pint of Guinness.
Guinness. Yeah, it's supposed to be a really good pint from there as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
but there's someone constantly pouring one.
yeah.
And there's always sort of like 2 or 3 sat down, settling,
Yeah.
pouring another, topping them up, pouring. Someone on the Guinness pump all
So
the
they're
time.
all ready. Yeah. Nice.
Tourists sometimes do is they go out with locals and then they skip out on their round. Okay, here in the UK and in England and Britain and all around over here, people like to go out to the pubs with their buddies. And you go out and everybody's getting rounds. So you go with 4 buddies, realize that you're going to have 4 rounds. Okay, you're going to be drinking 4 beers. Just accept it. That's the way it is. And you're going to pay for one of those
I
rounds.
think fine, it'd be
And
12.
if you're that friend that like
Well, one
skates out,
each.
like, oh, get the first couple, then you're like, oh, I gotta go. They're like, dude, I
Yeah.
bought a round, he bought a round. Why aren't you getting your round? That's gonna end some friendships and get you not invited back out to the pub. So don't skip out on the round because you will lose some friends on that. It can be quite annoying and quite rude, really. Now, another thing that kind of, I don't know if it irks them, but it just gets more of the eye-rolling nature that people have when tourists come to England, is when they try their British accent. Yeah, just don't.
I don't mind that.
Just don't.
Same.
Don't.
That's funny.
Just don't. Just stop. Just stop. If you speak English how you speak English. When you try to copy the accent, and I know people, they go to Texas and they go to the south of the U.S. try to mock the accent and imitate the accent, and they just end up looking like a fool. Here, it's the same thing. Now, I will tell you this. The people here in England, they'll never tell you that anything you do here will upset them or annoy them, because that's not how they are. But it's one of those things that you probably want to know so you don't look a fool. Now, another thing I think is important is when you come here to England, there's very much, it's not always prim and proper. There's some prim and properness. There's some etiquette out there. And I think one of the etiquette things that some tourists don't realize is you always want to leave a little.
I always like these sort of like takes on how you see sort of like certain countries.
Oh,
when you
I
go,
do. Yeah.
You know, to like go to say like, you know, coming to the UK, what people's perspective is about, you know, especially when people put on the accent. You know, for me, say whatever you want. I'm not asked.
I quite like it.
Yeah,
because I don't think it's mocking it. I think it's just trying to take the accent on.
Yeah. And
I think I'd probably do the same in the States. You know, if someone's American said try the accent or something.
Oh yeah, if someone says try it, you try it. But
it's just a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, but if someone, I mean, what you find there is when people try to do an English accent, it's always Southern.
Oh
yeah, people can't really do like a Scouse accent or a Geordie accent or a Manx accent. Or
No,
like
you never hear that, do you?
No,
never sort of like regional accent.
But everyone, even when he did it, then tried to do an English accent, it sounded like Southern.
Yeah,
it sounded like a from London sort of accent.
Definitely, that's always the one to go to, isn't it?
Space. So if you're on public transportation, you're on the bus, you're not sitting right next to the person.
You do.
You leave a seat in between. If the train's
See, if I get on the train and it's empty but one seat, like if that was empty there and that woman, I'd sit next to her.
Would you?
Yeah, proper freak her out.
Oh, no, you definitely go to the next one.
No, you got to sit right next to them.
No, it's like, no.
Get the shed going a little bit.
It's like being in a car park. If there's loads of empty spaces, you don't park next to someone.
Was it with you the other day when I was in that car park and it was you in the car when I parked down when there was one car.
I know.
And I said she'll park next to him.
That would have been funny because there was literally one car on the basement thingy, wasn't there?
That's why I go down there because there's never anyone there.
Yeah, that definitely freaks someone out if you sat next to someone in an empty
That's
train
what you
like
do.
that.
You just sit next to him and start heavy breathing.
it's not full, you're not sitting right next to somebody. You're leaving a space in between. If you're going to the bathroom and there's urinals, you don't hike up next to the next
straight in the middle one, mate.
Urinals. So
straight to one
a
end.
little space when you're here because they like a little space. They're not up in your face kind of stuff here in England, okay? Now, I realize this next one might seem a little counterintuitive, but honestly, if you tell people that it rains all the time when you come to England, that doesn't go over well either. I know whenever we mention weather in any of our videos about England, people say, well, last summer we had 40 degrees Celsius and we had sun, and you're right. The weather here, it doesn't rain all the time. I mean, I know it's raining now. It was actually beautiful sunny earlier today when I was going and seeing the sights. I should have filmed then, but honestly, I've gotten sunburned 3 different times visiting England, okay? In the summertime,
shows all pictures of London.
It can be bright. But yes, it does rain occasionally, but not all the time. And if you act like it's always raining, need your wellies all the time and your umbrella all the time, no, you don't, okay? And even the locals will be like, yeah, it rains a lot, but not all the time, especially in the summer. Now, another thing that might annoy the locals here is if you don't know the difference between the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Great Britain, England, Scotland, Wales, how they're all kind of different entities. Because people from Scotland identify as Scottish, and the Welsh identify as Welsh, and the English identify as English. But some of them are okay with being British. But the thing is, if you call somebody from Scotland English, or you call somebody from English Scottish, a lot of those people take that as an insult for different ways. And I'm sure people down below will tell me if you tell somebody Scottish, or they're like a Scotsman, what that means, or they're like a Welsh, what that means, or if they're English, what that means. There's a lot of different connotations that are there. So make sure you know where people are from before you blankly say, oh, you're Scottish, you're Welsh, you're English, you're Irish, you're whatever. Because that's one of the things that might upset people. And then there's 3 words that will probably make your English.
It's a bit like to us, though, Canadian and American. It's very difficult for us to sort of like tell the accent between American and Canadian.
Yeah, I think there's certain words that you've pointed out to me in the past, which I wasn't aware of, but one recently, actually, that we did.
If you say the word out.
Yeah. Is it oot or something?
Oot.
Yeah, see, I never knew that. But, but a lot of the time I wouldn't be able to decipher a Canadian from an American because
Australia,
of the accent.
New Zealand.
Again, I wouldn't be able to. I think you know certain words again.
It's the it's the I and the
right
word. So you say something like can't think of any words now with the I and the
Yeah,
it's definitely I know it's because they used to call Declan Declan.
Yeah, it sounds like a bit South African.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in a London accent.
Yeah.
English friends go, dude, you need to learn some English. And that is math, aluminum, and garage. Because here, they don't say math, aluminum, and garage. They say maths, they say
Maths?
aluminium, and they say garage. Okay, so
We don't say mass. Maths.
Maths.
Yeah.
We call it maths, don't we? With an
Yeah,
S on the
maths,
end.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
maths just with an S. Like
Yeah, that's right.
mathematics.
Yeah, it's garage.
Yeah,
and then
garage.
we call it
yeah.
aluminium,
or
don't we?
garage. People say garage as well.
Some people do
Garage.
call it garage. I think if you're from the north, you know, normally call it garage.
Garage, yeah.
I think garage is a bit posher, that.
Yeah. Yeah, and aluminium. Yeah.
just know that though we speak the same language, sometimes we pronounce it completely differently. And so that's why sometimes we gotta roll our eyes at each other. And also pronunciation, can be some fun things. I know myself, sometimes when I've ordered food or I've ordered stuff at stores,
Where's Jollibee
people kinda,
over here?
chuckle at me.
That's
They're like,
Chester.
oh yeah,
Must be,
I'll
yeah.
get that for you. Yank. And they kind of walk over and get stuff. So some of these things are really annoying. Some of them are kind of silly stuff. But I just wanted you to know a few things that tourists might do that might make their hosts uncomfortable or annoy them or just make them roll their eyes in silliness. So, sort of things you see tourists do here in England that really upset the locals. Let us know in the comments below so we can all be better travelers.
Yeah,
Nice one. I like things like that. He's a good guy, Mark. And
He
always,
is, I like him, yeah, it's good
he's
video,
always,
that.
he's always upbeat, isn't he? But
Yeah.
I can't think of anything when people, don't know what it's the one thing that would bother me about anyone is when they don't say please or thank you.
Yeah, it's
So
a
if
big
you go
thing,
and say-
isn't it?
yeah, it's
But
over here it is, yeah.
I just remember being brought up all the time. But all the time, it was like, please and thank you, please
Yeah.
and thank you. It's drummed into you.
Yeah.
And I think that's, carried me on through my life, that sort of thing. It's always something I always do.
But yeah, it's like automatic. If I'm in a sandwich shop and someone asks for something without saying please, I always say
Yeah,
please.
that does annoy me. But I mean, they don't have to be tourists
No,
to be like
that's
that.
anyone.
I've heard sort of
Same.
like English people
Yep.
be like, especially in bars, being just saying, part of this, part of that, but never saying please or thank you.
Yeah.
But to be honest, some of the staff never say that either. Say,
Yeah.
thanks. And
Yeah.
I've been served before recently where they've just taken me money and not said anything. That really, really winds me
Go,
up.
thank you. That's
Should do, should do, yeah.
That's the, say someone doesn't
Yeah,
hold the
thanks
door open,
very
I always go,
much.
thank you.
Yeah.
when it's closing. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's good done that.
Yeah, nice one, that.
Yeah, let us know if you know any as well. What he's on about.
Yeah.
Like I say, it takes a lot to offend us. I think.
I think so, yeah. Some of them might be a bit annoying, but, offended. I'm not sure if I get too offended by any of them.
But
But
piss me off.
no.
I'd correct someone.
Yeah,
I'd help
maybe.
them. Just say, don't do that.
Yeah.
It's not- you won't get far with that, mate.
Yeah,
Can't
exactly.
it?
Yeah. Nothing too bad, though.
Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget like and subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.